Hi everyone, it's Leona from Leona's Designs. Welcome to Bird of the Month for November. And the bird of the month for November is a rooster. And I was able to draw this beautiful rooster as part of Birdtober for October. And I'm hoping that I can recreate him in fabric. He's drawn on some sketch paper, and then I just doodled on him all these different markings. I really had fun doing this. I used some stencils and just different marks, and I'm hoping that with different colorful fabrics I will be able to recreate him onto this 6x6-inch cloth block, which is backed by some batting, and that I hope to make into a wall hanging with my other Birds of the Month blocks. So this one might look really difficult, and it might be, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping it won't be that bad because I've taken a copy of him and cut it apart and just tried to piece it into different pieces that I could cut out of fabric. And this part of it, I think I will just maybe cut in one big piece and then just cut strips to tack down. Strips of different fabric, and the same way with this. Or just plain fabric and then maybe make marks on it with some fabric pens. That would be fun. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I think it's going to be fun to try. So if you want to come along with me on this journey, just stay tuned and we'll get started. Okay, so my idea is to first, I want to trace this outline of this rooster onto a piece of white cotton. And this is just a piece of a white cotton pillowcase. And I'm going to try to tape this down so that it's sturdy enough to where I can trace it on this fabric. So let's see if this is going to work. Hopefully it will. Just want to get it as tight as I can. And then I'm going to try to trace it with my black Posca pen, because I really don't care if the tracing lines show, because they probably won't, but even if they do, I can just stitch over them. So it looks like this might work. Just have to keep the fabric very taut. And hopefully I can get his beak. And if it's not exact, it's okay, because I'm just drawing the outline of where I want to put my fabric. And I might actually just draw in his feet and leave it that way and stitch over them. So far, so good. far so good. It's working, so just in case, if you want to try this, Posca pens are paint pens, so they would be permanent. But you could also use fabric pens. And this is a little more tricky. But it seems to be working okay. Just have to move the pen forward. I can't really go back like I do when I'm drawing. But keeping in mind that we are going to be covering over this with fabric strips and pieces. Don't run out now, Posca pen. So far, so good. I don't know what this part, I guess this one extended down farther. Seems like my Posca pen wants to run dry on me right now. Hopefully not. Just need to test it on some paper. Yeah, I think it's still good. Okay. Hopefully we'll get this finished. Alright, I just need to see now where these different parts go, I think. Maybe not. Let's see. This, I think I should be able to fit everything in without drawing these inside lines, as long as I have the outside covered. So I'm going to stop. And maybe I'll just draw these lines, because I am going to use this part of him without adding fabric pieces. All right, so I'm going to take this off now and start finding strips of and pieces of fabric to cut out my little pieces. And then I will glue those down and then stitch them. So I think this is going to work. Let me get my fabric scraps and I'll be right back. All right, I've got a bunch of fabric scraps, but before I do that, I'm going to have to fussy cut him out to make sure he fits on my block, because I don't want this white part overhanging my block. But it should fit because I traced it. Let's see. It's going to be a lot of fussy cutting, but hopefully it'll be worth it. yes, it will fit. So I'm going to cut this all out, and then we'll get started piecing. Okay, I was able to get him all fussy cutted out, and I kind of tacked him down with a glue stick to this block, so now I can start cutting out pieces. And I'm trying to decide on this first piece whether I want to just cut red and then take the black fabric marker, a Posca pen, and just draw these little marks. I see his beak is a little off there. We'll have to compensate for that somehow. It's okay. So if I could cut out a red, I could do that. Or I have this little scrap here that might make a fun. So I'm just going to do both of them and see which one looks the best. Just cut this little piece out here. Thankful I have a lot of fabric scraps. So now I don't need to use the beak on this. Just need the, and what I'm going to do is put a little glue stick on the back of this just to hold it down there so I can cut it out. Okay. So this is not a project that is going to be a quick project. It's going to take a little time. But I think the end result will be really fun, and the time spent will be worth it. So if you're interested in trying this for yourself, I will have the pattern on my Ko-fi shop that you can digital download and cut out and try it for yourself. There will also just be the image of it if you would rather just copy that and draw on it like I did here. Just copy it and then just draw it in with fabric markers. You could do that. Or you could print it on some fabric, what do they call those? Fabric sheets, and iron it down. So there's different ways of doing it. You don't have to do it like this, but I prefer to do it like this. I think it's really fun. So this might really look pretty cool. Just get it arranged there, right? And I could still use my black markers to go over it. Like that little flower there in this part. So I think I will use that. For the beak, I don't know if I'm going to use fabric scrap or maybe just stitch it or color it in. I could use this part. And then stitch it and paint over it either way. I don't think this is going to really look right. This is going to look. I could just glue it down. I think I might do that. Could just glue that down. That would look okay. All right, we're on our way. So there's this one done. Set that aside. And I'm gonna put a little more, oops. I think actually I will just totally glue this down right now, since it seems like it's gonna work out okay. If I can get it off this glue stick. All right, and I'm going to glue this down so that it's ready when I want to start stitching. Put a little more glue on it. I'm getting more glue on my fingers than I am on the piece. Okay. Get it on the right way now. Is this the way? Or I don't think it was. I think this was the way. No. How was it on there? Oh. I think it was. I had it the right way. Just second guessing myself there. All right. All right, next one. I'm gonna leave the feet. I guess the next one would be this one. That would go in here. His neck. So let's see what I can find for this. It's kind of a pinkish, peachy color. Now let me see if I can find something. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I found this material, which is carrots and cabbages and radishes, but when you cut the piece out, it ends up looking like this. So I think that looks really cool. So I'm going to save that. So we got our second piece done. And let's see what our next piece could be. I think it would be his chest. So let's look for something green. I did have some green here that I thought I wanted to use. Okay, I found this piece. It's pretty neat looking, I think. It's not totally green. It's kind of green and yellowish, but I think it might look great. So we'll give it a try and see what it looks like. If not, I can always find another scrap. The nice part, I've got a lot of scraps. And of course, he doesn't have to look exactly like the drawing because he is a different piece of art. So let's see. How that might fit in. I think overall it would probably look good in the overall picture. Once I get the next piece in, which would be his wing. And oh yes, this part. I think I'll go with that. If not, I can always change it later. I think I had some yellow here I was going to use for down here. I think I had some yellow that was dotted. Well, I'll have to go look for it. Okay, yes, I found it, but it's actually gold, but I think it's going to work just fine. Just add a little bit of glue to this piece. And glue it on here so I can easily cut it out. I want to glue it this way. I do try to leave a little space around it when I'm cutting. This is for an overlap or an underlap. So there is a lot of fussy cutting involved in this project. If you don't enjoy doing that, then it might not be a project for you. But I don't mind it. I've always kind of enjoyed fussy cutting. Okay. See how this looks. I think that will look good. Kind of brightens it up. So there we have another piece done. It's not really taking that long to get these pieces cut out and put down. Now, the next part is this wing. So this is multicolored. I think I'm going to try to get something with blue in it. This is kind of a blue-green. I think that's too light. Maybe this. This might look really nice. Could always add more marks. This might really look nice. I wanted something really multicolored. I'm gonna go look and I'll be right back. Well, I found 3 of them that I thought I could use. This is like a pieced patchwork type thing. I could cut it out of that and get all these different colors in there. It's not very big, but might work. Probably could get, I'd only be able to get a couple different colors. Maybe 3. Might try that though. And then there was this. And this I really liked. So I'm going to cut 3 of them and then we'll see what they look like. Okay, well, I definitely don't like this one. It just blends in too much with that gold. This one I think might be okay. It's a little bold. This one, yeah, might be okay, depending what this one's like, I guess. So I'll keep these two on hand as first and second choice, and not this one. So now we need to do our other part of the wing, which is this. I think I'm going to make that a little more of a solid color. Maybe this. See how that would look with this. This. It would probably be better with this. But it is supposed to be multicolored, so oh boy. Might end up having to just get a solid color and color it in. Or I could look for a stripe. I better look for a stripe. Well, I found this green kind of stripe, so I think that's gonna work. I'll use this one. Maybe it's going to be very colorful. I see that I need something under here though. Guess I didn't cut these long enough. So, I'm going to have to find something that can go under there. Because I don't want just that white to show. So, I think I might just put a piece of plain red under there. Because I don't want to get too much different patterns going on here. Just going to cut a little piece to go under there. And I'm going to glue all this down, except right here, because I've got to put all these strips here. And I'm thinking maybe I'll just use pieces of ribbon for that, but I'll be back. Okay, well, I'm back. I ended up not needing to use the red piece there. I was able to make all the pieces fit, and I've got them all glued down. I added the pieces for the tail. So I think it looks really good. And I'm just now gluing down the feet. I decided I was going to use fabric for the feet also. Since everything else was fabric, I figured I might as well just make the feet fabric too. So I'm just going to glue these down and then get ready to start stitching. Okay, I think that'll look good. Just get everything stitched down. I'll be a lot of stitching, but I do want to make sure that it's all stitched. So I'm just got different sewing thread here that I'm going to use, and just do straight stitches, running stitches, just on the outside, and probably a few all across it and on each feather. And feet, I think I'll start here with the feet and go up, stitch all this with this kind of neutral colored thread here. I think it's going to look very good once I get all the stitching done. I am not going to share this pattern on my Ko-fi site as I said I was going to before, because there's just way too many pieces. But I will share the image if anyone wants to download the image and try to create one themselves from the image, or just use the image to print on fabric and just, create a block that way with the fabric image printed, or whatever you might want to do with the image. I'll have the image on there on my Ko-fi site. It's just way too many little pieces, and some of them I had to kind of wing it because they just didn't exactly work out the way I cut them. So I had to just kind of like right here make all one big piece, and this I had to kind of make into two pieces. So I don't think it lends well to for me to create a pattern anyway. But I will have the image there if anyone wants to try to download it and create something themselves. I'm just going to start here at the foot and start stitching. And we'll see what happens. Take quite a while because I'm just going to do 1 or 2 stitches at a time, just to hold everything down. I've really enjoyed putting this together. I said at the beginning I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but it ended up working out okay. And I'm really pleased with how it looks, and I will be happy to add this block to the other 10 that I've done and get started on creating that wall hanging. Next month is the last bird in the series, and it's listed, I think, on my playlist as a raven, but I also found that the cardinal is also the bird of the month for December, so I'm choosing to do a cardinal because I think cardinals seem like they're the bird of the month for December. Oops, that's wanting to come up there. I don't know why. Because I didn't have it glued down enough. So it needs a stitch right there. So next month, I'm going to attempt to make a fabric cardinal. And then that will be the last bird of the month for 2025. And once I get my wall hanging completed, I will, of course, come on and share it. So I hope everyone's enjoyed watching this video. I'm just going to keep stitching, and I will be back from time to time to show you the results until I get it all stitched. Okay, I'm back. I stitched on his feet and this part. I stitched this part of the wing down, and what I decided to do was take the Posca pen and just start putting some dots in there in those white circles, just to give it a little more enhancement. But I'm not sure what the word would be. A little more interest, maybe. So that's what I'm planning to do on the rest of it. I did add some marks here on his feet, and I might go around and add some more mark making on these feathers, perhaps like here a little bit. little bit of doodling here and there, like this. Just to add a little more interest. Kind of like that. But I'm going to continue stitching now, and I'll be back. Well, I'm back. I did a lot more stitching. Stitched all in here and here and there. And the rest of this, added a few marks with the Posca pen. I'm just going to keep doing this all over, and I will show the finished project at the end. I thank you for watching this. I really appreciate all my subscribers, new subscribers, people who have been with me for a long time. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I inspired you to maybe try to create a bird, a rooster of your own, either with my pattern, which isn't really a pattern, it's the image. Maybe this image will inspire you, or you can find your own image and cut it out and try to recreate it in fabric. It's really fun. It's especially fun to choose the different scraps of fabric, put them together, and see the image come to life. It's fun to stitch on it and mark make on it and just have something that your hands have created. So I hope you were inspired. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you again for next month's Bird of the Month, which will be a cardinal. Bye-bye, and have a great day. This is it. It's finished. Took a lot of cutting and gluing and stitching, but it's all finished, and I'm really, really happy with it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.